Good evening. This is the September 16th, 2021 meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. The time is 6 o'clock p.m. Our first order of business is to convene into work session to address the cases that we'll be hearing tonight. We will convene to the work session and then we will reconvene into general session generally about 6:30. The time now is right at 6:01 and we'll convene into work session.
The spasmatics?
Yeah, how was that?
Oh, it was really good.
I find the spasmatics talk too much.
They're
It's
a
play
little
the damn
humorous now,
song.
yeah, exactly. I agree.
All right. Okay, so
All right, so we're on.
Oh, that's why I got quiet.
Okay, so we will start our work session, item 2 and 3. We'll start with the roll call of the Planning and Zoning Commission. I'm Edmund Haas, Chair of the Commission, present. Vice Chairman Glenn Portman. Present. Commissioner Sue Blankenship.
Present.
Cindy Bishop.
Present.
Freddie Guerra.
Present.
Ed Marr.
Present.
And Jim Walker.
Is not in.
Jim is away. Okay, so our first order of business is to cover the cases. I'll turn the session over to Mary Prone Boswell, who will lead the session. So Mary, if you could introduce staff members who are present also.
Definitely. So myself, Mary Prone Boswell, Senior Planner. We have Matt Steer, Development Services Coordinator. Mike Garza, Assistant Director of Public Works. Cole Baker, EIT Graduate Engineer. Kim McGee, Planning Secretary. Julian's working our AV equipment, and that's everyone tonight. I think to start, I'll just give you a quick update on the council agenda items that went on Tuesday. So the chess club, the conversion of the doggy daycare into the chess club, that was approved at City Council just the other night on Tuesday. So the ordinance will follow next month, so I'll take that. And then the other item on their agenda was the live work at Coppell Road. And that was tabled to the September 28th meeting. So I can let Matt talk about that a little bit if you're interested. And then the other item I wanted to discuss with you was boards and commission interviews are lined up for October 14th.
Matt, you want to give a debrief of the council meeting on what we're trying to work with?
Yeah, so I gave the presentation. We had some opposition. The neighborhood to the northeast came out, same arguments, same concerns. Council made a motion to table or postpone it until the 28th, giving the applicant a chance to work on, revise the density, work with the adjacent neighborhood, and lessen the number of PV conditions, like for example, brick wall, and landscaping strip, and so he's working on that. So we'll see if they come up with something to bring back. I know financially going down a unit was going to be a deal killer, so we'll see if he can make it work. So that's the update.
Any of the other conditions still holding on, or will those be revised also?
Well, they're looking to revise the perimeter landscaping, the two sides, and shorten the buildings, make them smaller. I'm not sure if they're reducing the density in terms of units per acre. They would be reducing the lot coverage, which wasn't necessarily council's recommendation to go back and do. So we'll see if they want to go ahead and submit it that way. I've advised them that that's not reducing the density if they just reduce the square footage. But we can see,
Any questions of staff on that? All right, what have we got on tap for tonight?
So we do have one case on the agenda this evening, and Mr. Steele will be handling that one. So I'll go break. So let Matt kind of go over. his-
Yeah, so it's much like a science project here. You got, no, I'm just kidding. The color board, you know, it's modern looking buildings, lots of glass, but they do meet what the ordinance says is 50% or less glass on each elevation. And they do have masonry, stone components and brick, and they do have an accent. It looks like my elementary school gym, but this is the corrugated metal as their accent panel, but it'll be painted this gray color and will just accent the building. It's to give it a modern look and some shadows. So the architect did a really good job on it. It is a office park. So there's 6 different buildings. Does share a drive with the property to the west. So we'll look for more of the same on the west in future development. Interesting thing was there's lots of trees on site, and there's lots of grading that needs to take place. They owe roughly $170,000 in tree mitigation. So that wasn't a deal killer for them. So you know, I was surprised.
When the applicant pays this $170,000 for tree mitigation, does that go to the Parks Department for planting of new trees?
Right. It goes to the reforestation fund.
Reforestation fund. Can anybody tap into your reforestation fund, or just the city?
I think it's just the city.
Okay.
But I can get you in touch with
I'm just curious.
John Elias.
In the past, I remember an impact fee being waived. Does council have the ability to waive this, or is it?
Well, so this is straight site plan, so it doesn't even go to council.
Okay.
So they're not going to ask for the fee waiver. If, say, they put it under a PD, then they, you know, have to proceed to council and notify the neighbors. Interesting thing on this is they did contact the adjacent HOA, the Coppell Greens, so they're working with them on the perimeter wall, and they are constructing that according to our ordinance. But you know, they aren't legally required to contact them and work with them, but they volunteered to do that. So that's good, and I've included that as a condition of staff's recommendation, that they coordinate and the access and the placement of that wall with the adjacent neighborhood. I think the adjacent neighborhood does have some issues with the fact that they've got a railroad tie retaining wall holding up their fence. So they need to maintain that. The HOA needs to maintain that. So in order to get back there to access it, they would access it through this property. So that's how they'd work together. So there might be some gates added to this wall, as we've done in other cases. Most notably the one that's directly to the east. We're working with their engineer on adding some gates to the brick wall so that they can access it. Any questions on the case?
So since 121 is run by the state, they'll be coordinating with TxDOT on access drive, and
Yes,
if
sir.
there's a turn decel lane needed.
Yes.
I gotta believe this is gonna generate more than 50 peak hour trips.
Yes. Now, did we require a TIA on this? Do you know?
Because TxDOT's the permitting agency on
Okay.
the driveway, so it'll go through them.
So I did include that as a condition.
Perfect.
Well,
Just
so any
an
other
just an
questions?
observation. I'm sure it'll go through at time of engineering, but they put their detention pond in the uphill side of the property.
They're grading it.
They did. They have runoff coming from the north.
Yeah, I didn't, without seeing
Yeah,
a drainage area map, I didn't know what kind of drainage hit
Yeah.
it, but that was just kind of weird. That just increases their cost.
That if you've been out there, it's about a 40-foot drop from top to bottom.
Right.
And so he continues on, probably 15 or 20 feet above that. So they're picking up runoff from the plant up front, up top.
A weird
It
design.
is weird. It is an interesting location. But yeah, once they submit detailed plan review, detailed plans, we'll review those.
So they will have a retaining wall that goes on their east property line as well as the north property line as well. quite a substantial retaining wall too.
Yeah, because they're digging a hole at the top.
But is,
Fill up with water.
yeah, but the retaining wall that Coppell Greens has, that's on the east side, right? So
That's
there's-
east of this property, yeah, it's
So there's
just,
gonna be another retaining wall?
right,
along there?
right, so it goes down even further
Down? like
down, yeah, so,
South?
so approximately, let's say 15 feet from the property line, you'd have another retaining wall that goes
It's parallel.
Oh, okay, thank you.
further down.
And then the Coppell Greens lots, property, I would assume is on a higher elevation than
Right.
this one.
Right, exactly, or it will be.
It is.
Is some of that draining off into their detention?
The Coppell Greens?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so.
No. It's the property to the north that would be
It's
draining
the
onto
TXT
them.
plant that's up north, or whoever they are now, concrete plant.
Due south, doesn't it?
Any other questions? Okay. That concludes my remarks.
What else we have? Anything else?
No, next month we'll be busy,
Oh, yeah.
so we'll,
What are we anticipating to see
Um,
that you can share with us?
yeah. We'll see if they're coming. But I think we have, a couple plats and probably, let's see, the Maple Mart, at MacArthur and Beltline. There's a gas station there, Chevron, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So they're
Oh.
gonna tear down the existing convenience store portion of it, and a car wash, and build a new convenience store in the back. It's gonna look pretty nice.
The old Boston Market gonna go with it?
Yeah, I wish.
No. Sorry. No, but this site should look a lot nicer with what they're planning to do. We've been working with them for a couple months, so hopefully it'll look really nice.
No change on the number of fueling positions? All be the same?
So currently they have, where the building is, because they're taking that away, it'll provide for an additional 2 pumps in that area. So 2 more pumps.
And then they'll put the building back where the car wash is, sorta ish.
Yeah, so the building will be pushed back.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that's the tiniest little convenience store.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, I can't remember, but a couple thousand, maybe 2, 3.
They have a little restaurant component in there
Yeah.
too.
So they're really beefing it up.
Taquitos or
Yeah, maybe.
like Speedy
Like
Pack?
we're
Speedy,
lucky.
like Speedy K?
Yeah.
Speedy.
They're good, actually.
They're really good.
Yeah, I agree.
You can tell because all the construction
Where's-
workers are in there. in the
Where's that
morning.
one at?
It's Speedy K, it's
Sandy-
at
Sandy
Sandy
Lake
Lake
and Moore.
and,
Oh,
yeah.
that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's been there forever.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, there's a little
Next to
taco
Olay's.
shop up.
Yeah.
I've never been there until my kids told me about, hey, you gotta try it
Yeah.
out, man, it's really good.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Alright.
Inside, they got,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, they have a little restaurant and it's, yeah, they have a grill and everything.
Nice.
So will the flag still be Chevron or Mobil or whatever it is?
Yeah. that's what
Or
they're
like
showing.
Buc-ee's, mini Buc-ee's or something?
No, still Chevron.
So there'll be life at that shopping center all of a sudden?
That's the only life.
Well, they got that
Unfortunately, that's
fitness.
literally
They
true.
got the fitness thing in the back. That's fine. What about that property next to the Dairy Queen?
The avenues?
The plat's coming for that, so the PD's already approved for that. I think, are you
Mhm.
guys reviewing the plans? Or are they still?
I mean, they haven't resubmitted, like, they've sent us, like, this is what we're going to submit once it's all good to go, but.
Is it the avenues? Is it?
Yeah.
Well, that was approved,
Oh, I remember that one.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was very highly controversial
Oh,
with the.
That
with
neighborhood?
The neighborhood, the little cul-de-sac street.
Yeah, so the plat's
We'll
coming.
fix all that drainage too as part of that thing?
That's what they wanted.
I
I believe
remember that.
so.
Yeah, but that wasn't the big opposition.
No, it was mixed use.
It was MXD.
Yes.
That's right.
And then we'll probably have a couple hotels coming back.
Oh, coming back.
So, the Homewood Suites
Okay.
at
Point West.
Point West and Dividend. So they're coming back. They're reorienting their building, so they're flipping it, and then they're coming back with a second hotel on that lot. And then I think we're gonna get Whitestone, which was across from North Lake College. The original PD approved a La Quinta Home 2 Suites and then several retail pads. It's been, or I think it's under contract. So they're gonna come back with more than likely an office warehouse right beside, is that Amazon? And then the Home 2 Suites is coming back, and instead of a La Quinta, it's gonna be a different brand of hotel.
They said it's upscale Marriott.
Marriott.
But they've yet to reveal what
Not,
it is.
not to disclose it.
Yeah, but it is going to be kind of angled and be kind of a gateway into Coppell off Sandy Lake, so.
Oh, so it's gonna be the closer one to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, from here they flipped it, so to speak, closer to the corners.
Man, there are a lot of hotels on 121.
We're right by the airport, and
Yeah.
Yep,
we're
Joint
like one of
shops?
the busiest airports in the
Hotels,
in
which
the,
one?
in the world.
yep, yep.
What's the occupancy on some of those? Do you any data on that? I mean,
The hotels.
yeah, are they running, I know there's COVID, but because of the traffic on 121 and the airport and all that, are they running pretty full generally, or?
I honestly
To
don't
stay in
know.
business, they have to run at 80%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really high. I had no idea.
Otherwise,
yeah.
Was there anything else?
Well, and then on Coppell Road, we have, I guess Eddie, you might remember the Rosa addition, where it was a mixed use, architectural office downstairs and then live upstairs or vice versa. But, so that never got built, and so it was on two different lots. They're both residences, and two different owners, and so someone bought the northern residence, never knew that they couldn't rebuild their residence if, say, it ever burnt down or something. They can't get financing on it, they can't refinance their house because it's got a different zoning. So they're coming to repeal the zoning.
isn't that
This-
the one that was zoned and then zoned back and then zoned and then zoned back? Is that same property?
I don't think it's been rezoned for the Arosa addition. It's just a PD for a long time, but yeah, so essentially it's two lots and they've got shared parking and yeah, it's a mess. So what they're trying to do is just repeal the zoning, and so it would go back to two residences. So, you know, I haven't been involved in just a zoning repeal in the 18 years that I've been here. So, you know, it sounds like a no-brainer. You know, they're just trying to get their residents back under a residential sort of category. So
So it's PD, right? Isn't it?
it's a
It's
PD
an
now.
So it's gonna revert back to
Revert back
SF,
to,
SF, whatever?
well, so it's in the historic district, you need a SUP for residential. So either we repeal the PD and put an SUP on it, or just say PD with residential. So,
What's cleaner from staff's perspective?
we'll consult with the attorney, because, yeah, I'm not sure. To me, it's the same thing, but he might have a different opinion.
Yeah, being in the historical district causes all kinds of problems.
Mhm.
I can see issues with financing there.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's all that we know about.
Yeah, there might be another lingering one.
Yeah.
So should we bring sleeping bags?
Oh,
Are we here all
there's,
night?
there might be one more on East Beltline, right? That fill station. So there's a clean energy fill station for Amazon trucks. They're wanting to fill it with natural gas. They have different parking spaces for their trucks. So what it is it's east of the Shake and Shingle And west of there's a warehouse on East Beltline.
Yeah.
Right? And so it doesn't match up with the comp plan, so they'll have to do a comp plan amendment and, work through some other zoning issues. But I think they're pushing forward with that. We've had two development advisory committees with them. So we'll see if not this next month, they'll be in the fall.
That's ground up.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So it's a vacant tract of land right now. Some trees towards the back.
Yeah.
Has
definitely
anything
that
been
one.
done with the McDonald's at MacArthur and Beltline? Because at one time, we changed the zoning for that property because the restaurant closed. There was the big Mexican restaurant, and McDonald's was gonna redo their driveway and do a change on the building to the west of McDonald's, and nothing has happened.
Right, well, except for they came back and replatted it,
Yeah.
right?
So they replatted it into 3 separate lots now, and I think there's an Indian restaurant going in where Esparza's used to be, if I recall correctly from
Yeah, I think that's
our
right.
huddle.
That wasn't Esparza's, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was Güeros and then they changed
That's
it
it,
to
okay.
Esparza.
I
Yeah,
remember
but
that.
They
whereas
changed it
the
to
Sparta's
Esparza's,
owned by the
yeah.
same people.
Changed the
Right.
name.
That was before me with the song.
Is it still there? No, it's not there, is it?
No, it's
That one's been
gone.
taken.
Yeah.
For
It's been
a
empty
couple
for a while.
years, yeah. Got a nice patio. Anyway,
Yeah, it did.
I remember that.
Makes me hungry.
I know. No more food talk.
So I forget, but the restaurant that's across from, Family Fitness Gym and,
LA Fitness?
no,
Cat
the,
Creek?
The biscuit
Biscuit
bar.
well, where the biscuit bar is, but it's Zoe's.
It was
Oh,
Onions
yeah.
of Cava. So they rebranded.
Oh, did they? I was wondering
Yeah, so
about that.
all of, I
Same
think,
company, rebranded.
Didn't know that, okay.
Maybe like Mediterranean or something like that?
It's,
Yeah.
Supposed to
it's
be good.
really good, yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
I've eaten at the one in Flower Mound, yeah.
Oh.
I was under protest going there, but everyone else in my family said, let's go. And so, yeah, it's just like salads, but they put a bunch of goodness on top of your salad.
What's the name of it again?
Cava,
Cava.
C-A-V-A.
Cava.
Okay.
You know?
So
I think-
biscuit bar, I don't know if anybody's been there, but it's really good, but you go there like on a Friday night and they're not gonna make it in business very long, it's dead.
Is it really?
But it's really good, but
Yeah.
people don't know about it.
Have you guys tried the 151 coffee, anybody?
Yes.
Yes,
No.
How is it?
It's good.
it's fine, it's coffee. It's coffee.
I haven't been there yet.
There's actually people that sit in that little patio area.
I noticed that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And the music, is the music?
Is it too loud?
I didn't even notice. My daughter likes
I
fun,
did
so we had
notice
stopped
it
by
either.
there. No, I didn't notice the
I
music.
check their foot candles at night. It's good.
Good.
Thank you.
Well, so
I didn't do
apparently,
sound, I'll go back for sound, so.
so apparently this one has 6 different barista stations, so it's got
Yeah, we went and saw
twice
it.
as many as the one in Flower Mound. So if you've ever seen that one, it's completely backed up. So this one's twice as efficient, and it's got the dual stacking. So
Okay.
I think we did it right here.
Moving units.
Yeah,
All right.
I was
Yeah,
a little scared.
they were saying that, yeah, we made them do things they haven't done in other places. I'm like, I'll take that as a compliment.
Raising the bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just trying to see.
Couple more minutes here.
Yeah,
A little break before the meeting. Anything else? The interviews for the P&Z is on the 14th. At what time?
I think it's at 6. I'll have to check.
Who's up?
Oh,
Everybody,
do what?
everybody read Annie up again?
Yeah, everyone's
4.
reapplied. Which is good.
Everyone that hadn't replied.
How many people applied?
I think there's 17.
Wow.
Wow.
Competition's gonna be stiff.
We've come to meetings for the planning commission and there's one person.
So I can't remember if it's
Actually, there's
like
2 out
first
there
come,
right now.
first serve kind of thing.
But they interview everybody. Is that correct?
I think they have 17. I'll have to check. Because I don't know if she looks at it and then
And they,
decide,
Read out.
yeah, we don't.
I might not make the cut.
I think it'll be all right. Let's see. 'Cause she gave us this.
Okay.
Yeah, it starts at 6.
So we need to arrive at 4?
in order to be first in
I'll be
line,
here at
that's a good
3:45.
idea. Just hang out right by the door.
Come early or come late.
Anything else, Mary? So we can,
No, that's it.
quick break before the meeting?
That's it.
All right, so it's 6:25, and I'll dismiss our work session until 6:30. We're going to reconvene regular session.
All right. Lisa, organized.
All righty, the time is 6:31, and we're now convened into regular session. Our first order of business is to review the minutes of our, No, I'm sorry, item 4, citizens' appearance. Cammie, has anybody signed up first? Okay. No one signed up, so no speakers. Item 5 is to consider approval of the June 17th meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Are there any comments by the commission, or is there a motion by the commission?
I think you said June 17th, and I think it's August 19th.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, you know what? That's the minute, sorry. Hey, August 19th. Cammie, do we have an agenda, copy of the agenda? Thank you. Any comments to our August 19th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, the minutes? If there's any, if there's not any comments, is there a motion?
Sir, I'll make a motion for the approval of the minutes.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Guerra. Is there a second?
A second.
Second, Commissioner Blankenship. Cammie, would you call the roll, please?
Please respond by saying aye or nay as I call your name. Chairman Portman, I'm sorry, Chairman Haas.
Maybe there's something I don't know.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Portman,
Aye.
Commissioner Blankenship,
Aye.
Commissioner Guerra,
Aye.
Commissioner Mauer,
Aye.
and Commissioner Bishop.
Aye.
All approved, none opposed, motion carries.
All righty, very good. Item 6 on the agenda is to consider approval of the Northwest Gateway Plaza site plan. Site plan approval for 6 office and retail buildings totaling 39,130 square feet. Building 1 being 11,500 square feet, Building 2 being 6,760 square feet, Building 3, 7,420 square feet, Building 4, 4,480 square feet, Building 5, 4,480 square feet, and Building 6, 4,490 square feet, on 4.05 acres of property located on the north side of State Highway 121, approximately 2,500 feet west of Denton Tap Road, at the request of Musta Ventures, being represented by Stephen Homeyer of Homeyer Engineering. We have the staff report by staff member Matt Steer. Matt?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, good evening. As mentioned, this property is located on the north side of State Highway 121, approximately 2,000 foot west of Denton Tap Road. The property's never been platted, and it was rezoned from light industrial to highway commercial in 2004. The applicant is requesting a straight site plan approval, which means they are not needing any exceptions to the zoning ordinance. Therefore, there is not a zoning action, and the Planning and Zoning Commission is the final authority. This will not go to City Council. The site plan for the Northwest Gateway Plaza is located on one tract of land, which will need to be platted into a legal lot prior to obtaining permits. The site identifies 6 proposed buildings. Building 1 is 11,500 square feet. Building 2 is 6,760 square feet. Building 3 is 7,420 square feet. And buildings 4 through 6 are approximately 4,500 square feet. Building 1 is located on the northern end of the site. It's proposed to be a 2-story building, and the other buildings 2 through 6 are proposed to be 1-story. The site has one shared access point on the west property line. This is proposed to be a fire lane and mutual access easement, and will be required to be shown on the plat. TxDOT approval will be required for the access point. There are 174 parking spaces required, and they are providing 183 parking spaces. As calculated, this will allow for 30% medical office, 47% professional office, and 23% retail. And retail would be confined to the buildings 3 and 6, the closest ones to State Highway 121. A retaining wall is proposed to be constructed east of the parking lot and on the north property line, shown in blue. And a 4-foot metal fence will be located on top of this retaining wall for safety purposes. And then a 6-foot masonry wall is proposed on the east property line where it abuts the Coppell Green subdivision. Screening wall will be required to be constructed prior to any of these buildings going vertical. And there's a large detention area, as you see, on the northeast corner of the site. The screening wall is a tan color brick with stone columns, and the retaining wall is a stone with the metal fence on the top, gray color metal fence. According to the tree survey, 55 trees are proposed to be removed, 19 preserved on the east property line there. Tree mitigation for the site is required at $176,000. The landscape plan is compliant with the regulations of the landscape section of the zoning ordinance. The area requirements are met. There are 63 3 cal/inch trees required. They're proposing 80 4 cal/inch trees. And these consist of 6 chinkapin oak, 15 shumard oak, 5 live oaks, 24 pond cypress, and 30 cedar elms. And they're proposing a focal point, as was envisioned in the 2030 Comprehensive Master Plan. Buildings are located on the eastern and western portions of the site, and in between the buildings is a linear park, and this is proposed to be constructed of 3 grassy areas. The first area is located towards the front of the site between the front 2 buildings and consists of 2 metal deer sculptures, native grasses, and a 5 by 12 foot wall or sign with the name of the development, Northwest Gateway Plaza. North of this area is the second section, a rectangular grassy area lined with park benches on the edges and bollard lights. Trees will be planted within this area, and accent trees and shrubs will line the area. The third square-shaped grassy area is north of the second one, and it's proposed to contain 2 additional trees and benches and bollards as well. Here are the color elevations for Building 1, which is the 2-story at the northern end of the project, and Buildings 2 and 3, you can see, are very similar. Buildings 4 through 6. Each of the buildings are proposed to be modern in architectural style. 5 of the buildings are proposed to be 24 foot in height, and the northern one is the 2-story as mentioned, which is 32 foot in height. Each of the facades will have a brown stone as the primary material, metal accents, and an extensive amount of glazing. Metal canopies are proposed at each of the entries. Here's some renderings that were submitted to me today. The one on the top left is looking from the southwest corner, looking northeast at the proposed project. Because this is meeting all the zoning requirements, notices were not required to be sent out. However, the engineer did reach out to the adjacent HOA, Coppell Greens, to discuss the wall placement and access. They're beginning the dialogue. I've seen a couple of emails go back and forth between the two for what is needed with that wall and the access concerns, and the retaining wall actually on the Coppell Green side. What they're requesting is some access to that. That being said, staff's recommending approval of Northwest Gateway Plaza subject to the following conditions. 1, there will be additional comments at the time of detailed engineering review and building permit. 2, a plat will be required to be filed of record prior to permitting. 3, all attached building signage shall comply with the sign section of the zoning ordinance. 4, submission of the photometric study and lighting plan will be required at the time of building permit to ensure compliance with glare and lighting standards of the zoning ordinance. 5, the 6-foot screening wall will be required to be constructed prior to the buildings going vertical. I've added 2 conditions since the staff report was written. Text dot approval is required for the driveway off of State Highway 121 frontage road. And 7, to collaborate with the Coppell Greens HOA related to the wall placement and access. And that concludes my presentation. The applicant is in the audience as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Matt. Quick question for you. You mentioned the lighting will be reviewed when the final plans come in for engineering.
The lighting?
Lighting?
Yes, when it comes in for a building permit review. Yes, sir.
So that'll be, what kind of lighting will be required for the parking around the building? I mean, I saw the lighting on the structures themselves, but for the parking lot,
Right, they've got standard parking lot standards, the lights around the parking lot, and then we're going to make sure that adjacent to the residential, it meets the cutoff requirements of the
okay.
zoning ordinance.
And then there was a breakdown, the percentage of the different uses under the retail component, that's strictly retail.
Right, and that would be parked at 1 per 200 square feet.
Okay. Have any tenants been identified, out of curiosity? We can ask the applicant.
Yeah,
Okay.
not to my knowledge.
But no way can restaurant go into those retail buildings?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions of staff by the commission?
I just had one question, and I failed to mention this, or ask it. I guess for cross-access, just out of curiosity, is there any consideration to doing that in the near future? I mean, just giving, I guess, our residents or customers a way to get back to Denton Tap without going on that access road back to 121.
Right. Unfortunately, we did ask the applicant to try and coordinate with the eastern property owner, and there was too much of a grade difference for them to make it work. So I'll let them explain their discussions.
Good question. Any other questions of staff? Okay. Would the applicant like to present the case? Mr. Homeyer? If I could get your name and address for the record.
Yes, sir. My name is Steve Homeyer with Homeyer Engineering, with civil engineer for this project. We're at 206 Elm Street, Suite 105 in Louisville, Texas. Mr. Steer did a good job of presenting the project to you tonight, so we're here to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay. Had a couple right out of the chute there. Sounds like lighting addressed my concern there on cutoff near the residential area there. Commissioner Guerra had a question there on
The cross-access?
cross-access and the grade issues. Can you share some information there on that?
Yes, we visited with the developer of the adjacent property, and due to the grades and just overall access, they weren't necessarily interested in providing that at this time. So we'll still work towards that, but we move forward without showing access at this time.
Not even further back on the site?
The further back we go, the worse the grades get. It's critical to get it right at the front portion of the property.
Okay. Any questions of the applicant? Potential tenants lined up?
No potential tenants.
Okay. When might construction start?
I would think we're probably looking at first quarter next year.
Okay. No questions by the commission? Tough crowd tonight.
All right.
Thank you very
I
much.
like it that way.
All right.
All right, thank you.
You bet. Any deliberation by the commission? Okay. Do we have a motion?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I will move that the commission approve Northwest Gateway Plaza site plan as submitted, subject to all staff conditions.
We have a motion by Vice Chair Portman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Blankenship. Cammie, could you call the roll, please?
Chairman Haas,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Portman,
Aye.
Commissioner Blankenship,
Aye.
Commissioner Guerra,
Aye.
Commissioner Mauer,
Aye.
and Commissioner Bishop.
Aye.
All approved, none opposed, motion carries.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Best of luck. All righty, item 7 on the agenda is update on council actions. We had that
Guarantor of this project.
reviewed during our work session. So item 8 is adjournment. Prior to adjourning, does staff have any final comments? Anything else? Okay, very good. Okay, with that, it is 6:45 and this meeting is adjourned.
Wow.